I am absolutely delighted that the class of 2013 has chosen as its commencement speaker Judge Shon Hastings. In 2011, after being appointed by the judges of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit, Judge Hastings was sworn in as the United States Bankruptcy Judge for the District of North Dakota. Not so long ago, Judge Hastings sat in your seat as a newly minted graduate of the University of North Dakota School of Law. Since her graduation, she has dedicated her professional career to public service and earned a reputation for expertise and integrity. For more than a decade, Judge Hastings served as an assistant United States attorney in Fargo, overseeing the office's civil division. As an assistant U.S. attorney, Judge Hastings served on several national Justice Department working groups, conducted training on commercial law for prosecutors in Laos, and taught at the National Advocacy Center. She also supervised our students through the School of Law's federal externship program. Now, as the chief bankruptcy judge in our federal district, Judge Hastings hears matters arising under the federal bankruptcy laws and fulfills Congress's intent, as the United States Supreme Court expressed it, to give the honest but unfortunate debtor a new opportunity in life and a clear field for future effort. Thanks to her service and dedication to North Dakota and our nation, Judge Hastings has already inspired our graduates. When I asked the students why, out of all possible commencement speakers, they wish to have Judge Hastings address their class, their friends, and their family on the occasion of their law school graduation, here is what they told me. When appointed as North Dakota's first female bankruptcy judge, Judge Hastings gave credit to her small-town roots in western North Dakota for her professional success. At the same time, Judge Hastings commented that her successes have not come easily and would not have been possible if not for her own mentors giving her second chances. The class went on. We felt that her professional success and personal character make Judge Hastings uniquely qualified to deliver our commencement address. The fresh start of federal bankruptcy law reminds many of us of the support and second chances we received in law school. It also is a metaphor for beginning our professional careers as practicing attorneys. And as lawyers, we will help our clients earn fresh starts by being their advocates during some of the most challenging times of their lives. The class concluded, Judge Hastings is a shining example of how hard work can pay great dividends when you dedicate your efforts to a just cause. Well said, class of 2013. Please join me in welcoming Judge Shon Hastings to the lectern for her commencement address.
President Kelly, Dean Rand, Dean Swisher, Dr. Munsky, faculty, distinguished guests, graduates, and family. Thank you for inviting me here today. As you've heard, I am a UND graduate. I have an undergraduate degree that I earned in 1986, and just shy of 20 years ago, I walked across this very stage to receive my UND law degree. I am so proud to be a UND graduate. This place, this university, is so special to me. 20 years ago, I would not have possibly guessed that I would enjoy the privilege of celebrating with you today. Thank you. I'm so honored. Today is about congratulations. Congratulations to the professors and law school administrators and mentors who guided you through 3 years of rigorous study. Congratulations to the parents, significant others, friends, and relatives who supported you, encouraged you, waited for you while you studied, provided you that very welcomed stress relief, and likely helped your financial burden. The people who loved you most made it possible for you to succeed, and they've earned your congratulations. And finally, congratulations to you, class of 2013. You memorized International Shoe and the hearsay exceptions. You understood the implications of Paul's graph. You likely slept through Marbury versus Madison. You puzzled over the rule against perpetuities and the rule in Shelley's case, which, by the way, were cited in a brief I read 3 weeks ago, so don't think you're done with them yet. You snickered your way through bankruptcy class and maybe even considered whether to buy one of Professor Foster's CDs. You survived Professor Morrison's Con Law 2, Criminal Procedure, and Sentencing class, but not very many of you aced them. You laughed through Professor Torts Johnson's class. You climbed into your Civ Pro submarine, and you watched Professor Alava play imaginary tennis with issues. You labored over the brief that you were assigned in second semester lawyering class. And you were likely surprised to learn that the Kardashians and Britney Spears were relevant to trusts and estates, and wondered when Professor Myers found time to watch TV. You sought and likely achieved stress relief at the malpractice bowl and at the over the hump parties. You made friends who will be your friends for the rest of your lives. You researched and wrote and studied more in the past 3 years than you ever expected, more than you ever thought you could. Today, you will be rewarded with a degree so few people in this country achieve. So few, in fact, that according to the US Census Bureau, only 3% of Americans achieve doctorate or professional degrees, including law degrees. You are exceptional. You earned it. Congratulations. Today, you shall celebrate. Tomorrow, you get to start studying for the bar. And after that, you will begin a journey. And as you prepare to take your first steps in this journey, take a moment to think about the path that you will follow. Hot off the presses is a book written by Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg. The book is titled Lean In. In her book, Sandberg encourages women to aggressively pursue success by taking a seat at the table, seeking challenges, taking risks, and pursuing their goals. In her words, lean in, speak up. Sandberg's book was and is the talk of the media. Just read an article about it 2 days ago or 3 in the Fargo Forum. The book prompted Arianna Huffington, co-founder of Huffington Post, to counter with 2 words, lean back. In an interview with USA Today, Huffington remarked that, quote, to effectively lean in, we must also lean back and focus on our health and wellness. The 2 metrics for success are now money and power. We are calling for a 3rd metric, well-being and wisdom, end quote. Like Sandberg, former Lehman Brothers chief financial officer Aaron Callan offered words of caution about leaning in. Callan confessed to prioritizing work and her career above family, friends, and marriage, and now admits that there were diminishing returns to that kind of labor. She told NBC Rock Center that she leaned in far, very far, and then added, don't do it like me. I don't think the way I was doing it was the healthiest, happiest way to do it. Now, at the age of 47, she and her husband are trying to have children. While targeted at women, this dialogue about the balance between work and professional lives is not only applicable to women, it is also applicable to men. And all the commentators who have discussed this issue relate that this conversation is or should be about everyone, gender neutral. But our lives don't just have two dimensions, work and play. Bill Gates' visit to Fargo recently, just last Saturday, reminds us that our journey through life should also include stops along the way to help others. Gates and his wife Melinda established a foundation which donated more than $26 billion to fight extreme poverty and poor health in developing countries and to support education in this country. Based on what we heard and read in the newspaper, Gates would likely suggest to you that success is not only about achieving personal wealth, but also about what you can do to help your community and your world. As one of the exceptional 3%, where will you spend your time, energy, and talent? Will you devote any of your time to giving voice to those in need? Will you empower them? Will you serve them? So achieving good balance between your work and personal life is not the only consideration in beginning your new journey. You must also consider your responsibilities to the community, the bar, and the world in which you live. The challenge is weaving it all together. Armed with a UND law degree, I took my passion for the law and devoted myself to my work. I leaned in so far, I almost tipped over. 2 years into my law degree, my mother died, and that gave me an opportunity to refocus. About a year later, I gave birth to my first child. I leaned back for a while, but the demands of the practice kept tugging me. I spent the next 10 years struggling with a balance between my personal life and the law, many times worrying that neither was receiving the time that they deserved. I'm embarrassed to admit that I took no time for anything else. I did not exercise, I did not volunteer, I did not participate in professional activities unless my employer required me to do so. I lost touch with friends. I worried that these outside activities would take too much time away from my work or my family. Leaning forward and then back when I felt I could was not fulfilling. I was stressed all the time. And it saddens me to learn that according to the American Psychological Association, your generation is even more stressed than mine. According to a recent survey from the APA, millennials, defined as Americans ages 18 through 34, are the most stressed generation in this country. Millennials reported higher stress levels than their parents' and their grandparents' generation. More millennials said that their stress level had increased in the last year, and not surprisingly, work was perceived to be a primary stressor. So it appears that you are likely to fall into the same trap I did, allowing job stress to overwhelm you. The good news is that your generation is also likely to seek more work-life balance than mine. In fact, an article posted on CNBC a week ago referred to a new study which found that college-educated millennials are seeking more work-life balance than previous generations. I hope this means that your path to life balance is shorter than mine, because what I learned along the way is that taking more time for family and friends and making time for outside activities is not only more fulfilling, it made me a better lawyer, more empathetic, more efficient, more effective. Now, I take time for exercise and cooking and entertaining friends. I volunteer for school and religious and community activities, and I never refuse an invitation by UND to speak. I make more time for family, and I still have time to devote to the law. This is not an easy thing to do. I have to be mindful about my schedule every day. But successful lawyers do it all the time. In fact, the very best lawyers that I've ever worked with make time for other passions. Mary Beth is an avid reader, and she belongs to 2 book clubs. She serves on the library board in her community. Nick loves musical theater, and he takes trips to New York City to see Broadway plays as often as he can. He also serves on theater activities in his community in Fargo-Moorhead. George is a trial lawyer for a large nationwide practice who runs marathons and is very politically active. Rick enjoys knitting. Patty is an avid bird watcher. Lisa, a partner in a large Louisiana law firm, earned an advanced degree in horticulture 10 years after her law degree and used her horticulture degree to help victims of Katrina replant the yards in front of their homes that were ruined during the flood. And finally, Karen, a United States judge in North Dakota, volunteers her time to providing judicial training. Her reputation for excellence exceeds beyond North Dakota and this country to Jordan, Morocco, India, Serbia, Turkey, Malaysia, and other countries around the globe. These attorneys, like many others I know, also find time for professional activities. They serve in religious organizations, volunteer for civic and community charities. So, as one who began in the very seat where you're seated today, I challenge you to be a weeble. Yes, I said weeble. Your parents will recall a small toy like a Fisher-Price Little People. They're about 1 inch tall, and when you push them, they didn't tip over, they wobbled. In fact, they wobbled in all directions. Much like the clown face punching bag with the sand at the bottom that you shoved over and it comes back right to you. They're like that, only they're miniature. The weeble toys leaned and rolled, but never really tipped too far in one direction. The slogan used to entice children to want them and their parents to buy them was "Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down." So I suggest that you think of yourself as a weeble. Lean in. Devote your energy to being the best attorney you can. Seek challenges, honestly, ethically, and aggressively represent your clients. And pursue your goals. You may find, as I did, that you will not love everything you do all the time that you do it. But after 20 years and 4 different jobs in the law, I still love it. Don't let the law tip you too far in one direction for very long. You should also lean back. Make time for family and friends. Take a vacation. Exercise regularly. Reach to the side. Find time to help those in need. Volunteer at a homeless shelter. Become a big brother or a big sister. Lead a Boy Scout troop. Tip in another direction. Participate in professional and bar activities. Take pro bono clients. Attend the annual convention. Teach a professional class. Tip back and learn to golf, or learn to golf better. Take a photography class. Travel. Turn around and make your voice heard. Vote. Attend a rally. Run for political office. If you are mindful of planning your journey, I think that you will find that you will be an efficient, effective, and even compassionate lawyer. A good friend, a loving spouse, parent, son or daughter, an engaged citizen. And it is my hope that as in 20 years, when you look back on your wobbly journey, you will find that you found balance. Congratulations, class of 2013.